The same effect of combining a consonant and a vowel is seen with speech sounds in the lateral group, which contains S, SH, W, X, and Z. Now, you will remember that the movement associated with the lateral group is essentially a side-to-side movement across the body, or when the speech sound is an initial in a syllable, and outwards to the side when a speech sound is at the end of a syllable. So if one adds a vowel to an initial speech sound in the lateral group, say sa, then one sees a progressive modification of that movement as a different vowel, a succession of vowels is added to the S. So we get sa, se, si, sa, sa. Sa, se, si, sa, 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 which is a different pattern of movement for each combination. Once we have these ideas about the way in which movements combine in parallel with the combination of speech sounds, and there is a real parallel because when speech sounds combine, both speech sounds are modified from what they are in other contexts or in isolation. Now, as our two associated movements combined, they are modified to produce an effect which derives from the characteristics of both the movements involved and associated with particular speech sounds. So once we have that idea of a melding together of movements as there is a melding together of speech sounds, one can start to examine what more complex movements, more complex movement words, to use a phrase I suggested was appropriate earlier, result if you take perhaps the simplest combination of speech sounds is where one has two vowels together, forming a diphthong. Now, diphthong is a very significant word, of course. It means that the tongue has two movements in pronouncing the diphthong. The tongue moves from one position to another. Now, one of the simplest diphthongs with a definite meaning is produced by the combination of the vowels E and I. So you pronounce E and I, from which one gets A. Now, if one considers how the positions associated with those two vowels might combine, first of all, E, secondly, I. E, A, 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 A. What is produced is a movement from the position for E, to the position for I, which in fact results in a short forward movement, a short, in fact, indicative movement. I, I. A, A, A is a weakly indicative word. Another simple diphthong, combination of two vowels, which has a definite meaning, is I. Now, one could treat this as composed of the vowels A and I, A-E, 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 or one can treated as composed rather more complexly of the vowels short a and long I. And this is more likely to be the correct analysis. The movement the position associated with short a, of course, is a. Position associated with long I, e, e. If one goes up, one gets a, e, o, a, e. A high position. So, what is the result in terms of the movement word of combining these two vowels? I. I. Interestingly enough, the movement which results from this combination brings the hand near to the eye and suggests that the word I is the product of an indicative gesture, an indication of the eye with the hand. I.